Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Sorry it's been so long since the last upload. It has been a very busy summer, but I'm back at my setup and I'm super excited to be back recording again. We have a ton of suggestions for things to check out from you guys, so I'm ready to jump into things. Today we're checking out Solar Dawn by Enna Alouette and Elira Pendora. I'm ready to jump in 3, 2, 1, play. I like that. That's a crazy range. It feels very heavy in my right ear. I'm hoping that's not an issue with my headphones, and that's just how they're trying to mix it. Okay. Very interesting. They carried over the strings there as we jump into the new vocals with, I believe that's Elira. I'm gonna stop pausing so much. I'm gonna let it play out now.
I know that the world can be like a broken symphony, and you lose your grasp on mine, barely keeping your dreams alive. But you know the thing in life is that we need the darkest nights to have a clear sight. We get it wrong.
Is that Enna? It's been so long since I heard them. I don't remember hearing Enna go that low. I don't remember her range being that large. That's insane. It's been so long since we've heard them last sing. Nice. Okay. Instrumental cut out for transition. Very consistent percussion. Nice. Okay. Okay. Not bad. Okay. Okay. Sure. I like how the percussives let us out of that. We got into a little bit more of that like stuttering percussive to suit that like falling edge from the climax of the song there. I will say I'm a little bit just like a little bit put off on the rush on the Solar Dawn, especially for like a big hook for the chorus. It's a little bit rushed, especially when like everything in the song so far has been so beautiful and so like eloquent. I do think it's a little bit jarring, but I will say following up with this like rising up to match like the rhythmic pacing of the vocal line is a smart idea. It definitely helps smooth out um the kind of juxtaposition between that like fast-paced vocals with the rest of the song so far. So I will say very smart in that like sense of lyricism. But the fact that we rushed the Solar Dawn, I don't think it's necessary. I think we very easily could have like dragged that out into a Solar Dawn. I don't think we needed to rush it. I think we could have fit it a bit easier into the chorus there. That said, it is like personal preference, and if they were aiming for that, then I think they did a good job. And that rising up, following the Solar Dawn, like in the chorus there, smooths it out. It does smooth it out. Yeah, see, like we have so much room on that Dawn. We very easily could have like drawn it out a bit, like Solar Dawn, like. But I don't think it's bad. This is very much a nitpick in personal taste. Oh, also, I don't think I've commented yet. Like vocal tonality is beautiful. Like these are two very talented vocalists. I'm surprised I haven't seen more. I know we've had like a bunch of Enna Alouette, like especially early on in our channel, but Elira, I think we've heard like maybe like one or two things from Elira. It has been a while, so I'm surprised we haven't heard more from her. Wow, that's insane.
Even in the shades of gray, you can find a peaceful place, like the moon and stars at night. You'll float in space until the day. No need
I like
to be
that.
worried. You got all the time
Back
you
it up on
need.
the. Ooh, I like that.
Up high.
I like the strings there. I didn't notice that the first time if we had it the string like a lift there on Alira's part.
Space until the day. No need to be worried. You got all the time you need.
Right there. I like that.
Keep your head held high, and everything falls into place. Clouds in the
Nice.
sky, making shapes.
I like that.
Follow what you see. Kites in the sky.
Nice. Those high pitched vocals up top.
On the waves.
Okay.
So keep on believing in
This part,
wildest dreams.
this transition here, they keep on like this feels so like what's her name? Hikaru Utada, I think. The one who does like the I think she does like One Last Kiss and like the Kingdom Hearts music. Um like it's super like similar vibes to that where it's like almost like a pseudo uplifting like dramatic romance like tragedy like all that mix of like there's like vibes there. It feels very much like that style.
Sailing on the waves. So keep on believing in wildest dreams. They will come true when you're ready to take them in.
Nice.
Before that day comes, keep climbing up
Nice.
from the deep. After the evening dusk,
And
you will see.
that was interesting. I'm gonna what was that?
After the evening dusk, you will see.
Interesting. I think it was it sounds like they kind of like muffled her vocals a little bit there, like for the evening dusk. I don't know if that was intentional for like creating that juxtaposition between like evening dusk and then you will see. Like I don't know if that was like a lyrical like mix awareness thing or if it was just like I don't know something off with the mic.
Climbing up from the deep. After the evening dusk, you will see.
I don't know. Maybe it's just I don't know a mixed choice. It's not bad.
The dawn in the horizon.
Interesting.
And you'll know that everything
So-
was worth it. The daybreak is closer than you can see. Spread out your wings when you're ready to take the leap.
I like the vocal layering there.
Weight of the world you were living in will all be history when you break free. So keep on believing
Key change.
in wildest dreams. They will come true when you're ready to take them in.
Nice.
Before that day comes, keep climbing up
Nice. I like that string, that rhythmic change there. That was good. Nice. 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 Interesting instrumental support on the end there. We almost made it into like a progression, like like adding some intensity towards the end there on the instrumental side. Vocal side, this was beautiful. What a showcase of just like expertise on the vocal side. I'll say Elira, she kind of sounds like when she sings, it's like very long and like open, like super supported with like very open diaphragm, like just projecting beautifully. But it like sounds like her mouth shape like tends to lean a little more open, even when it's like not like a ill-fitting like place, but just like somewhere you wouldn't really expect it to be as open. You kind of expect it to contract a little bit towards like the ending parts of like some of her vocal lines, but she still keeps it open, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think it actually creates like a really cool comparison to um Enna's vocals. I think it was like here where I really noticed it.
You can see, spread out your wings when you're ready to take the leap. 'Cause all the weight of the world.
I don't know if it was there. There she sounded fine, like normal. But I think it was like maybe earlier, somewhere here.
Everything was worth it. The daybreak
That
is
was it. Yeah,
closer than you can see. Spread out your wings.
I think it was the transition there where I really noticed it. It was like, she keeps her like when she sings, it feels very open. Whereas, I think Enna is like a little more dynamic in at least like how her mouth shape is, like when she's singing. I mean, I'm not a singer, but like just from hearing it, that's kind of like what I feel like I'm picking up on, at least for this song. I don't know if that's like a trend that's goes like beyond how they sing normally, or if it's just like for this song's application, how they stylize their vocal patterns for their vocal lines. But yeah, it sounded like she kind of closed and made her mouth like a little wider for these parts here.
Then you can see, spread out your wings
I
when
love
you're
that, by the way.
ready to take the leap. 'Cause
Yeah,
all
okay.
the weight.
She changed there. I will say sometimes I'm mixing up their vocals like a tiny bit because yeah, they have massive ranges. So sometimes there might be times where I'm mixing them up a little bit. But I do think I'm hearing them correctly. I will say Lyra, it's interesting because Enna has such a wide range. So she kind of like goes down low to where Lyra's like um sitting, and then sometimes she shoots like way up high, but it's usually on those supportive lines, right? So usually it's when she's doing those like vocal layering lines to support either her own vocals or Lyra's. But yeah, I mean, just massive a showcase of talent on the vocal side of things. Very impressed with that. The instrumentals were pretty dynamic, but like not super standout because they weren't the focus of the song. But I think they played to the strengths of the vocalist here. I do think like I will say the instrumentals on the ending just like caught me off guard. It wasn't bad, but I wasn't expecting the
When you jump, I know you'll see you found a
yeah. I wasn't expecting that ending where like you almost hear like a little bit of that distortion at the end, like dragging beyond the rest of the instrumental tracks, and you're like, oh, that's like how I would expect like a like scientific railgun opening to, and not necessarily like a like very beautiful like showcase of like vocals necessarily, but I do think it added some intensity to the mix, which isn't a bad thing given the way we ramped up to the last chorus and we really emphasized like the progression, right? Because like we didn't end with just like another chorus. We ended with this like back and forth between like I believe it was Elira doing the Solar Dawn, and then Enna like kind of saying those like more narrative vocal lines where it's like kind of talking to the audience a little bit. um yeah, I think this was really cool. I would rate it very highly. I don't know if it's my favorite out of the Niji encounters, just because it's been a while since we heard all of them, and I don't remember all of them completely, to be honest. Maybe we'll do like a video where I just go through like each of the Niji encounters and rate them. I don't know if you guys would like that, but let me know if you would. I think that would be cool. But yeah, I really like this though. This could very easily be my favorite Niji encounter song. I really enjoyed this. I will say there were some like very interesting like compositional choices where I noticed, especially towards the beginning, where we're like not necessarily changing certain aspects of the instrumentation when I would expect them to, and I felt like that actually played to the strengths of the song because it made it less orthodox in what you expect for this style of music. And I want to briefly go back and see if I can kind of find a way to highlight that to you guys.
I know that the world can be like a broken symphony, and you lose your grasp on mine, barely keeping your dreams alive. But you know the thing in life is that we need the darkest nights to have a clear sight. We get it wrong to see the light. Clouds in the sky, making shapes. Follow what you see. Kites in the sky.
Man, this is such a nice melody there. I love that.
Waves. So keep on believing.
Yeah, I think just like the transition to words, like you can hear the strings like become a little more staccato as we're supporting that like segment change from we get like an Elira solo, we get an Enna solo, then we get like a segment change, we go to Elira and Enna again, but it's more back and forth, and then we go into the chorus, right? So I think throughout these first two segments, we keep the instrumentation relatively the same. We do have like a lift on Enna's part, but then as we transition into this part here, we get this change in like the leading strings where we get into this more like staccato support for the vocal, like rhythmic change. But the rest of the instrumentation is pretty static. It still kind of keeps the same throughout that. Then we get like an instrumentation pull out into the chorus. So we kind of create that transition not instrumentally, but just by like, subtracting. We get like a negative transition, which is pretty common in a lot of songs. But I do think it plays to the strengths of the style because adding more to the transition can make it feel a little bit messy, especially if it's like a new instrument. Um, and that's something that I think plays to the strengths of like dance music and like EDM and dubstep and like more heavier songs as well, like metal and rock. I think the like a negative transition plays to the strengths of these more like calmer emotional songs. But even as we go into the chorus, we don't have a massive instrumentation change. It obviously is like different like notes that we're playing, but like the instrumentation itself is not having like a massive shift or switch up. Which is something that I think from what we've heard from NIJISANJI previously, they do like to do a lot. Um, so yeah, I think they played very well to the strengths of the vocalists here rather than just like habits of what the company does in their music production. And that said, I'm not like the most well versed in the entire discography of NIJISANJI, so it's not like I know everything that they do musically, but from what I've heard, I think they were very conscious of the vocalists here rather than the trends that they have in their discography, which I really like. And I think that speaks very well to the music team behind this. So massive props there. Really enjoyed this. And yeah, thank you very much for recommending that I check this out. Sorry it took so long. It's been, yeah, very busy summer, but I'm back at my setup and I'm very excited to start making videos again. So yeah, thank you very much. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, feel free to recommend more things for me to check out in the comments below. Aside from that, I'll see you all next time. Thank you so much.